So to continue our game, we've got a hero, the Pink Panther, and we can move Pink Panther around the screen. And we've got two enemies, Hamburger and Pizza, that move around the screen. And when they collide with each other, they destroy each other. But I want to be able to destroy Hamburger and Pizza as well. And I want to do that with flaming hands, so sending out flames from my hands. So the way to do that is to set up a projectile. But when must it come from my hands? Well, I've got controls here, so I can move Pink Panther around. The other controls I've got is A and B buttons. So if I press the A button, for example, I could make the projectiles shoot from my hands. So I need to find an event which is all about A button. An event is probably the controller, so I click on that. There we go, on A button pressed. So whenever the A button is pressed, what must happen? Well, it must send projectiles. So projectiles, just like players and enemies, are sprites. So I need to click on the sprites menu and I must look for projectiles. See if there's anything. There we go. Projectiles. Set projectile to, from my sprite. So it's going to come from Pink Panther. So I drag that one on and it must come from Pink Panther with a particular velocity. Now, to make it go left to right on the horizontal, there's a lot of experimentation that I had to do, but I found out that that would be 200 on the X velocity and 0 on the Y velocity. You don't want any velocity up or down, so that's 0. It's just going along the X axis. So now if you see what's happening, I'm clicking and nothing appears to happen because I haven't drawn my projectile yet. So I go in here, and remember it's flames, so I'll have some red there and some yellow coming out in kind of flamey sort of fashion. And now I've got flaming hands, and when I play it and I shoot them out, that looks pretty cool. And the faster I shoot my buttons, the more flames come out. But now what I need to happen is if it hits one of these enemies, then it's going to destroy them. So again, I need an event, but I need a special event. It's about overlaps, when the projectile overlaps with an enemy. So if I look at my sprites menu and I go down and I look at the overlaps, I've got on sprite of kind player overlaps something kind. Well, maybe I could do something here with projectile and enemy. So let me try that. I'm going to put that there. So when a sprite, and I can't change this and I can't change that, but it's when a projectile overlaps with an enemy, something happens. So I've now got it to, if it overlaps with pizza, it must destroy pizza. And if it overlaps with hamburger, it must destroy hamburger. So I'm hearing lots of ifs there. So let me go to my logic and get an if. So if the projectile overlaps with hamburger, where would I get that? Probably on the sprites and on the overlaps. I've got to go and try and find that. So if something overlaps with something, so if projectile overlaps with enemy 1, then I want to destroy enemy 1. So I go down and I find the destroys. There we go. It must destroy enemy 1. And I can give it a spray effect or something. Let me make that a little bit bigger. And now I need the same to happen for enemy 2. So I can just right click and duplicate that whole block of code and just add it there and change enemy 1 to enemy 2, enemy 1 to enemy 2. Well, that should work. Let's test it out. So I've got them moving around the screen. Let me see if I can shoot hamburger. There we go. I've managed to shoot hamburger. And I'm trying to shoot, and I managed to shoot pizza. So well done. Now what I've got to do is add something with what happens if the enemy overlaps me. Okay. So if sprite of kind enemy overlaps